on the News Channel 5 network. This is the plus side of Nashville.
Hi everyone, I'm Tawanda Coleman. Welcome to the plus side of Nashville. You know, I'm always inspired by people who don't just talk about a problem, rather they go out and try to find solutions to the problem. Brett Swain, who's the executive director of Lamb's Craft Ministries, was once homeless. Now he's providing shelter and job skills to the homeless. It's an inspiring story, and I can't wait for you to meet Brett in just a bit and find out how he transformed his life and how he's now helping other former homeless men to transform theirs. And speaking of transforming lives, that is a full-time job for my first guest. Join me in welcoming Brian Curry, who's the pastor of Holy Trinity Community Church. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure to have you here. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been the pastor there? And I understand you're originally from Nashville.
I am originally from Nashville. There aren't many of us who can say that we were born here and around. We're such a transient community, but I was raised in Nashville and have been at Holy Trinity for about 3 years now, serving as the lead pastor there now, and just really we have a great community over at Holy Trinity, and it's good to be a part of that.
Well, I've heard great things about Holy Trinity. So many times we hear how churches, you know, we're transforming lives and we're saving souls, and you do all of that at your church, but you also have a sort of a unique reputation there. What makes Holy Trinity so unique?
We do have a unique reputation in the Nashville community. Holy Trinity is one of the churches in Nashville that is LGBT inclusive, meaning that we're a church that not only welcomes but really celebrates the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. And of course, in our political landscape these days, LGBT issues are on the forefront of lots of people's minds, and there are lots of just beautiful communities in Nashville, religious communities, faith-based communities that are very welcoming of the LGBT community. At Holy Trinity, though, we are proud to say that we not only welcome people from the LGBT community into our congregation, we also expect our folks to serve, to minister, to be ministers, and to be the people that they're created to be.
A very inclusive church.
Absolutely.
Which is really nice to say. Was this a goal of yours when you took over as pastor there, or was this already something that the church was doing?
You know, that was something that the church was already doing. Since our inception, we've been a community that really celebrated the idea that everyone is welcome in our community.
Is Holy Trinity non-denominational?
We're affiliated with the UCC, which is the United Church of Christ. There aren't a lot of United Churches of Christ in the Southeast. It's a denomination that has a strong presence in the North and the West, so we're one of just a few UCC congregations in Nashville.
And I know in your Sunday school class and in the way you teach is you bring Bible scripture, of course, into present day social issues, and you talk a lot about current things, you know. It's Bible based, but you talk current things, racism, women's issues, and so forth.
Right, yes, absolutely. You know, we stand on a premise that Scripture doesn't say anything to us that it didn't say to the first people that it was spoken to, and so we put a lot of energy into really studying Scripture and trying to get at the issues underneath the passages. But if those passages only live in the past, then they don't have any power for us now. So just like you said, we put a lot of energy into figuring out how does Scripture speak to disenfranchised communities? How can we use that not just to offer hope, but to encourage people to make differences in their own lives, in their own families, in their own communities?
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the community, you open up to the community, inviting them in. You do room in the inn, you do animal blessings, and you have a big annual Christmas production that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And a lot of folks look forward to every year. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Brian, we really appreciate it, and we're going to talk more about what you got going on at Holy Trinity when we take a break after this.
Thanks so much.
So stay with us. We'll have more on Holy Trinity's annual Christmas production right after this.